Hi guys, it's Kaeyi and today I am going to do a review of the Roccat Kone Pure Mouse. Now I'm really excited to do this review, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so let's get started. Normally I don't really take a look into the packaging or the boxing of any sort of product that I review. However, I really just want to take a quick look at this box purely because I think the way they've designed it is really innovative and I personally really like it, and it really caught my eye when I first received it. I think they have taken a lot of time and effort to make this mouse stand out from the packaging, and if I saw it on the shelf somewhere I would definitely take a look because it is really eye-catching. Now, as with most mouse, it kind of opens up and then you have a little bit of information onto the inside as to what you can expect, and then on the back there are some full specifications and features of the mouse. So I just thought I'd quickly show you that because I think this box is really cool and I just really like it, so I just wanted to point that out for you guys. So let's take a look into the mouse itself. Now, as you can see here, the first thing that you will notice is the Roccat logo is on the back base of the mouse, and you can see that at the moment it is currently pulsing with colour. Now, if we actually use the Roccat drivers, you can actually change the way this colour shows. You can have it completely fully lighted, as you can see now, it's just a solid block of colour. You can have it pulsing or breathing, as it says on the software. Or you can have the lighting completely off. If it's something that might distract you, you can just have that turned off, and depending on what you like, you can also change the colours. Now, the reason I'm going into this is because my favourite mouse, as you guys know, currently is a Razer Naga, and one thing that kind of frustrates me is that I cannot change the colour on it. Now, this is something that I love about the Roccat Kone, is that the colour scheme is completely customisable to what you would like. So if I just apply that, this should now change to blue if it wants to work, and I'll put that on fully lighted so that we can see the colours there. There you go, so that's the blue. I'll give you another example of, say, pink. So you can just see the full spectrum of colours. There we go, we can see that's more of a purple. If we look into a yellow, there we go. The full colours that we can see are a light blue, a dark blue, a purple, a violet colour, a bright pink, a hot pink, a red, orange, yellow, greens, and then some lighter kind of turquoisey blues. This is really great. I think that you can change that and you can really just select kind of any colour that you like, and there is also a slider so that you can find a colour suitable to your needs, and then the mouse will adapt that and then put it on there for you. So I think that is really great that you can customise that. Now let's go into some of the features of the mouse. Now, the first thing that you'll notice is on the top we have a scroll wheel, and then we have two buttons. These buttons currently are set to the sensitivity of the mouse. Now, there is an awesome feature. If I just click the plus and change the sensitivity,
6,400 dpi.
The driver settings on the mouse actually speak to you, and myself and some others at Hardware Heaven have actually named this guy the Roccat Man.
8,200 dpi. 6,400 dpi. 3,200 dpi.
And as you get to lower speeds, he slows down.
400 dpi.
And faster speeds, he speeds up. So that's great. That's what those two buttons on the top are currently programmed to. You then have the scroll wheel. I am really happy with the scroll wheel on this mouse. Some scroll wheels on other mice seem to kind of just constantly scroll, and there's no sort of friction that makes it feel like you're actually scrolling and you can have a little bit of control over it. This, however, is great. Every tiny fraction that you can scroll, you can really feel it as if it was kind of more like a cog, and I feel like there's a lot more control. You aren't scrolling all the way to the bottom of pages before you even realise you've even hit the button. You then have two buttons on the side, and these are fully macroable. You can set these to whichever kind of button that you want them to be. You just simply program them in the drivers and have them assigned to whichever thing you want. Personally, you would have them in a game, say for example like looting or your map. That would be something that you would assign it to. These buttons are great. I don't know if you can see, but they are quite ridged. They are really durable. They're really great buttons, and you really can feel when you're clicking them. The same with the left and the right click, and also the click on the scroll. I really like this. I like the shape of the mouse as well. I always kind of mention the kind of ergonomics of a mouse, and personally I think this one is great. I really like the size. It's actually wider than most other mouse. It's actually wider than most of the mice that I've actually tested so far, but I really like this. Another thing you'll actually notice if you get a chance to play around with one of these mice is that the sensitivity is great. Even if you change it,
200 dpi.
as you can hear, change it to another setting, it's so crisp and really smooth. The bottom of the mouse really helps with that. It's got this same kind of feet that you would have seen on the SteelSeries Sensei Raw. I really love this kind of mouse feet design, personally, because I think it makes it a lot smoother. The Logitech G600 has the same kind of bottom as well, and it covers a lot of the surface of the bottom of the mouse, which means it glides a lot better, a lot smoother, and you feel like you have a lot more control over the mouse. Let's go into a couple of the specifications that I know you'll all be interested in. You can also see that it has got a corded cable, which is great. It's something that I really look forward to because you don't want it to get all tangled. It goes up to 8,200 dpi, the laser sensor does, and that's great. As you could hear, Roccat Man said to us that it went up to 8,200. It has a 32-bit turbo-core V2 processor, which really helps with the speed of the mouse. It has a tracking and distance control unit, 576 kilobyte onboard memory, which stores all of your macros and settings. So if you take it out and you plug it into your laptop or computer, it will actually keep those settings on board, which is great. It has a ton of gaming profiles, and as I showed you previously, all of the lighting. 7 mouse buttons, as you can see, the left and right click, the middle scroll, the 2 on the top and the 2 on the side, and it has a really long gaming life apparently. So hopefully this should be quite a durable mouse. It will last quite a long time, and it should be something that, you know, you can keep and travel around with you. It's quite light actually. Some mice that have quite a few buttons, I mean 7 is kind of middle range for the type of buttons you can get. You've got the Razer Naga, which has got 15. You've then got some mouse that have kind of only 3 buttons. So 7 is kind of in the middle, but it actually is really light. There is no weight to this at all. Even though it's light, you still feel like you have that control. The only thing I would say is that they are aiming at a gaming audience, and I would say now that I think most gaming mice should come with at least 10 buttons. That would be something that I could say, is that I would have really appreciated this if it had more buttons. I personally have been using this mouse to play games like Skyrim or any sort of other RPGs where a lot of the interactions in game and a lot of the button presses are actually used on the keyboard. So this mouse is perfect for something like that. However, something like an MMO like World of Warcraft or Guild Wars 2, I think that you would require a lot more buttons, that you wouldn't be completely satisfied if you had this as a mouse. Apart from that, I cannot fault the Roccat Kone Pure at all. I really love the design, love how sleek it is, I love the finish. It's got a kind of rubberized matte black finish, which is really pretty. I really like it, and the buttons themselves
6,400
are great.
dpi.
And you cannot beat Roccat Man, come on. The best feature about this mouse by far is the scroll wheel. I definitely am going to rate this 9 out of 10. The only reason it is 9 is because I think that personally it should have more buttons, but that is my personal preference because of my own personal game choice that I play. If you were playing an FPS or an RPG or any other game for that matter, this mouse would be absolutely perfect, but MMO players, I would recommend getting something with more buttons. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you liked this review. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and myself or Hardware Heaven will get back to you and we'll get those answered. See you next time.